Hello everybody, Mythical Aqua here. Today we're going to be going over which of the Galar starters is the best. Out of Sobble, we got Scorbunny, and we got Grookey. Now, a disclaimer that these ratings are based off the storyline of Pokemon Sword, whether super effective against gym leaders or rivals. It has nothing to do with competitive battle. Grookey, Thwackey, and Rillaboom. So Grookey evolves to level 16 into Thwackey, and then at 35 into Rillaboom. Rillaboom's stats are he has 100 HP, 125 attack, 90 defense, 60 special attack, 70 special defense, 85 speed with a total of 530. He's normally damaged by all these types you see here. He's weak to flying, poison, bug, fire, and ice, and he's resistant to ground, water, grass, and electric. And then these are Grookey's, this is his moveset. He can learn more moves once he evolves, but we're just going to be going off the typings here that we see because he learns more of the same type later. So he has mostly normal, grass, and then two dark moves. Both of them seem pretty useless in this scenario. Taunt doesn't do any damage, and Knockoff does barely any damage unless they're holding an item. So we're basically just grass and normal. Then we have Sobble, Drizzle, and Inteleon. Now Sobble evolves into Drizzile at level 16, and then to Inteleon at level 35. Inteleon has a HP of 70, an attack of 85, a defense of 65, a special attack of 125, a special defense of 65, and a speed of 120. So Inteleon here is a speedy special attacker. That's what he is for. Also a total of 530. Inteleon is normally damaged by normal, fighting, flying, poison, ground, all the ones you see here. He's only weak to grass and electric, which is actually very good. He's only weak to two types because he's only a water type. He is resistant to steel, fire, water, and ice. Now this is his moveset. He has normal, water, and then this is going to be very key, this dark type move. It's going to be very key once he evolves and gets better. But other than that, we have a lot of water type moves, one bug type move, but I don't think he's going to get more just because U-turn's kind of like that special type of move. Now, Scorbunny, Reboot, and Cinderace. So Scorbunny evolves at level 16 into Reboot, and at level 35 evolves into Cinderace. And Cinderace, these are his stats here. He has 80 in health, 116 in attack, 75 in defense, and 65 special attack, 75 special defense, 119 speed for a total of 530. All of the starters have a 530 total. He is normally damaged by normal, fighting, flying, poison, ghost, electric, psychic, dragon, and dark. He is weak to ground, rock, and water, which is only 3 types, which is good. And he is resistant to bug, steel, fire, grass, ice, and fairy. Alright. Now, this is his moveset. We have the main two are fire and fighting. The agility is a special move. It probably won't get another psychic move later on. Bounce is probably the only flying type move he's going to learn. Now, first we're going to start with the gym leaders. Now, the first 3 gym leaders, it's kind of self-explanatory. They base it off the 3 types. So fire is the best against the first gym, which is grass. Grass is super effective against water, which is the second gym, and then water is super effective against fire, which is the third gym. That's what these little greater than symbols are for, so basically fire is greater than grass, and you'll see these symbols throughout the rest of the slideshow as well. Which means all of the starters are good for these first 3, so they each get a point there. Now, none of the starters are specifically super effective against fighting, but Scorbunny here, he can learn a fighting type move, which means he's super effective against only Pangoro. Now, none of the other ones are super effective against any of these types, but Pangoro, since he's super effective against Baya's, Scorbunny, since he's super effective against Baya's Pangoro, he is technically the best for that gym. Now we move on to the shield variant of the 4th gym badge, which is Alistar. Now, Alistar is a ghost type gym, which means that Sobble is going to be the best for this gym. Because of that, remember he learns Sucker Punch, which is super effective against the ghost type, which makes him the best for the 4th gym in Shield. Now, the 5th gym has Opal. Now, none of the Pokemon are specifically super effective or have super effective moves against Fairy, because Fairy's only its only weakness is poison and steel. But you do see the steel type here, which means Scorbunny is going to be the best for the 5th gym because the fire type advantage against the Mawile. Now we have Gordy. This symbol is different from the rest. This means Scorbunny is actually the only one that isn't useful in this gym. He does have the fighting type advantage here, but since he has the disadvantage with he has the fighting type, which is good against the rock, but since he has the disadvantage of rock being super effective against fire, not that useful. So in this case, actually Grookey and Sobble are both equal in the fight against Gordy, because rock and water are both super effective against rock types. Now we go into Melanie. Melanie is the shield variant of Gordy, the 6th gym leader. In this case, Scorbunny is the best because he is death effective, or double effective to Frostmoth here because of the fire, super effective against Darmanitan, and super effective against Ice Cube. Now he is not super effective against Lapras, but I figure that by this point in the game you might have a second Pokemon to help deal with Lapras. But Scorbunny is the best against these 3. Now we go into Piers, the 7th gym leader. So Piers is a primarily dark type. There's some other types in here, but he is the dark type gym leader. The best person to deal with him is, in fact, Scorbunny. Scorbunny is super effective to all of Dark because he has the fighting. He's not super effective, really, to the Malamar, but he is death effective to the Obstagoon. So, he is the best for the 7th gym badge. Next, we're moving on to the 8th gym badge. The best one here, since there's a rock, ground, and another ground, is most definitely Grookey. This is the only time he actually shows up in the gym leaders thing, but Grookey is definitely the best to deal with the 8th gym leader because there is 3 things that he is super effective against. We got rock, ground, and then another ground. Now hopefully you'll have a fire type or something else to deal with the Duraludon by then, but just for the best out of the starters, it's definitely going to be Grookey. Now we got the last one, which is Leon. Now Leon, his team changes depending on what starter you have. So if you have Scorbunny, this is his team. And you're super effective against Mr. Rime and Aegislash, but nothing else. But if you go down, if you chose Grookey, he is super effective against just Seismitoad. That's the only thing he's super effective against, so he's not really that useful in this situation. But if you go down to Sobble, he is super effective against Rhyperior because of the water type, Charizard because of the water type, and then that Sucker Punch that he learned, that dark type move, is also super effective against the Aegislash and the Dracopult, making Sobble the best to fight Leon. Now, this is the ranks for just the gym leaders. I'll get onto rivals in just a second here, but Grookey comes in last place with only being good against the 8th gym leader. Sobble comes in second because he's good. He's not the best, though. Scorbunny, as you could probably tell, is the best to take on the gym leaders in Leon. But now, there's something else. We still got to think about the rivals, right? Your first rival is Hop. So this first Pokemon right here doesn't matter because he will always, whatever Pokemon you chose, will always be super effective against whatever starter he chose. He's dumb and decided to choose the wrong starter, the one that you're super effective against. I don't know why he did that. Anyway, so we're going to go off the other Pokemon here. Now we have a Corviknight, a Dubwool, a Snorlax, and a Pincurchin. Now, the only thing super effective against these is Scorbunny, because the fighting type on this Dubwool, and then the Snorlax. And there's also the fire type of him fighting Corviknight. So for Hop, this is the best person to fight him, actually Scorbunny. He has some other Pokemon along the way as well. He also picks up a Trevenant, which he is super effective against. I don't know why it's not shown on this list here, but there's a few other Pokemon he has. But going off his final team, except for without Zacian or Zamazenta, which he fills in this slot with, this one, Scorbunny is the best. Now we move on to Marnie. Now Marnie always keeps dark types. She keeps dark types throughout the entire game. I mean, there's this Toxicroak, but as you can see, mainly dark-based team. So the fighting is super effective against dark, which makes Scorbunny the best to deal with Marnie almost throughout the entire game. Scorbunny is definitely the best in this scenario. Next we move on to Beat. Now Beatty, she kind of has like Psychic towards the start and then switches to Fairy later on. So this makes Sobble the best, which doesn't make much sense, but you remember the Sucker Punch, which is basically carrying this guy at this point because he's not super effective with his water against very much in the game. But his Sucker Punch / Dark type moves are super effective against Gardevoir, Rapidash, and Hatterene. Now, he isn't super effective against Mawile or Sylveon, but since he has the advantage here of taking out 3 of them with being a dark type, that makes him second best. Next, alright, so this is the final, after all the count up, these are the order of the starters. Now the third, the worst, the pick in Pokemon Sword and Shield is Grookey. Now you might, I'm not saying you shouldn't pick Grookey. You can pick whatever starter you want, but Grookey, type-wise, is not that great in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now we go on to second is Sobble. Sobble is pretty good. He takes out quite a lot, but he's just barely under the amount that Scorbunny takes. Scorbunny is actually the strongest starter in Pokemon Sword and Shield for the storyline. He can take out 90% of things. He's got the fighting and fire advantage, which is really good. It helps him out throughout most of the game. So yeah, Scorbunny is the best Sword and Shield starter to pick. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.